Welcome back to Kleppers Corner, where we rummage through history's junk drawer and discover that September 4th isn't just a random Tuesday in the eternal void of time. It's a day where empires collapse, cities are founded, native leaders surrender, students face mobs, cameras go click, and nerds in a garage invent a search engine that now tells us how to spell definitely. Spoiler, we're still getting it wrong. September 4th is basically history's Costco sample day. You want imperial collapse? We've got Rome. You want revolution? France has you covered. You want America's contradictions? Try Los Angeles, Geronimo, and the Little Rock Nine on for size. And if you want technology that simultaneously unites humanity and destroys our attention span, Kodak and Google will do nicely. Let's dive in. Segment 1, the fall of Rome. Romulus Augustulus gets pink-slipped, 476. On September 4th, 476, Romulus Augustulus, last emperor of the Western Roman Empire, was deposed by Odoacer, a Germanic chieftain who basically said, "Buddy, the empire's over. Also, you're grounded." Imagine the CEO of Blockbuster handing the keys to Netflix, but way less exciting because instead of streaming, you get the Dark Ages. Romulus Augustulus was a teenager, which means Rome literally ended because a dad installed his kid in the corner office. This wasn't Game of Thrones. This was bring your son to work day gone horribly wrong. And Odoacer didn't even kill the kid. He gave him a pension and sent him to Naples. Rome, ladies and gentlemen, the empire that conquered the known world and fell with all the drama of a cable company merger. Segment 2, the fall of France. Napoleon III fumbles at Sedan. 1870. Fast forward 1,394 years to September 4th, 1870, and France decides, hey, collapsing empires sound fun, let's try it too. Napoleon III, the guy who thought he was Napoleon I, but with a mustache, lost the Franco-Prussian War so badly he got captured like a Pokemon. Sedan was less a battle and more a cosmic prank. Imagine your emperor surrendering himself and 100,000 troops. France found out their emperor had been benched, and Parisians basically said, cool, let's overthrow him while he's in timeout. Within hours, the Second French Empire was out, and the Third Republic was proclaimed. Boom, you're a republic now. France goes through governments like Americans go through iPhone chargers. Segment 3, the founding of Los Angeles, 1781. September 4th, 1781. Los Angeles is founded by 44 settlers who weren't Spanish nobility or conquistadors, but a mix of Native American, African, and European heritage. So basically, LA was multicultural before it was cool. They named it El Pueblo de Nuestra Senora la Reina de Los Angeles del Rio de Porciuncula. Try fitting that on a Dodgers cap. These settlers weren't glamorous. They were farmers trudging across the desert who probably didn't imagine their pueblo would become a place where billionaires fight over which superhero movie gets the most CGI explosions. Los Angeles, founded by diversity, sustained by avocado toast. Segment 4, Geronimo's surrender, 1886. September 4th, 1886, Geronimo surrenders to U.S. forces. For decades, he resisted the Mexican and American armies with fewer followers than a niche podcast. He outmaneuvered 5,000 troops with just 150 people. That's the original underdog story. But after years of pursuit, he finally surrendered at Skeleton Canyon. The U.S. promised him his people could return to Arizona. Spoiler, nope. They got Florida, Alabama, then Oklahoma. It's the worst Airbnb ever. And later, America paraded him at world fairs like a trophy, even had him ride in Teddy Roosevelt's inaugural parade. That's like beating the system only to end up as halftime entertainment. Geronimo deserved better. Segment 5, the Little Rock Nine, 1957. September 4th, 1957. The Little Rock Nine tried to attend Central High School, and Arkansas Governor Orville Faubus responded by sending the National Guard, not to protect them, but to block them. That's right, a governor used the military to stop kids from going to school. Nothing screams states' rights like bullying teenagers. The scene made global news. Polite, dressed-up black students versus screaming mobs and armed soldiers. The Soviets used it as Cold War propaganda. Look, America, freedom and democracy, unless you're a child of color. Eventually, Eisenhower sent the 101st Airborne to escort them in, which is both heroic and sad. Think about that. It took paratroopers to walk 9 teenagers to homeroom. Segment 6, Kodak's Camera Revolution, 1888. September 4th, 1888. George Eastman patents the Kodak camera and trademarks Kodak. Photography went from stand still for 3 hours and don't blink to press a button and hope nobody looks weird. Before Kodak, pictures were rare and serious. After Kodak, you got the first duck face selfie. Eastman's slogan was, "You press the button, we do the rest," which is exactly how Google Photos steals your soul today. Kodak created the idea of Kodak moments, those family snapshots where dad cut off everyone's heads and the dog blinked. It democratized memory. And yes, without Kodak, there's no Instagram, no Snapchat, no 10,000 blurry photos of your lunch. Segment 7, the incorporation of Google, 1998. Finally, September 4th, 1998, Google is incorporated. 2 Stanford nerds in a garage created a search engine that organized the chaos of the internet. Before Google, we had Alta Vista and Ask Jeeves, which was basically shouting into the void. Google's PageRank algorithm worked like academic citations. Cool pages linked to other cool pages. Today, it's basically which page sells the most sneakers. But still, it became so dominant that to Google replaced to search. And now we don't even know facts. We just know how to Google them. We've outsourced memory itself. On this date, knowledge became universal and also monetized. Every time you search cheap pizza near me, you're standing on the shoulders of Paige and Bryn, who dreamed of organizing the world's information and also making sure you buy yoga mats from a sponsored link. In closing, so September 4th, the day Rome tapped out, France swapped an emperor for a republic, Los Angeles was born multicultural, Geronimo surrendered, teenagers defied segregation, Kodak sold memory, and Google sold everything else. It's a day of endings and beginnings, a reminder that empires fall, technology rises, and sometimes it takes airborne troops just to get kids to school. History doesn't move in a straight line. It moves in waves. Waves that occasionally look like the Roman Empire being downsized. France declaring, "New Republic, who dis?" And you Googling, "Is it normal to take 400 selfies at brunch?"